Let's talk about something that's probably in your closet right now. A simple pair of jeans. They seem so straightforward, right? But what we're about to uncover is that their story, well, it's anything but simple.
Think about it. That super soft feel, those cool fades around the knees that look like you've spent years breaking them in. You'd think that all comes from just wearing them a lot. But you know what? That's not even half the story.
The reality is that perfectly lived-in look is engineered long before you ever even see them in a store. It's the result of a huge and honestly pretty intense industrial process that's all about one thing, making brand new denim look beautifully old. And just look at this transformation. On one side, you've got raw denim. It's so stiff it could probably stand up on its own. It's dark, it's rigid, and let's be real, it is not comfortable. And then on the other side, you have the jeans we actually want to wear. So the big question is, how in the world do you get from point A to point B?
Well, this is where we dive into the process that the industry calls garment finishing. You can think of it as the secret sauce, the magic that turns that stiff, raw fabric into your go-to pair of comfy jeans.
So garment finishing isn't just one thing. It's a whole series of steps. It's a mix of what they call wet processes, which use chemicals and a ton of water, and dry processes, which are basically mechanical methods for, well, beating up the denim in a very, very controlled way.
And for a long, long time, the traditional ways of doing this have been pretty brutal. First up, you have stonewashing, where they literally throw jeans into giant washing machines with pumice stones. Then they might get sprayed with some really strong chemicals to create those lighter patches. And finally, some are even sandblasted. Yep, blasting high-pressure sand at the fabric to wear it down. It's a super aggressive way to get that vintage look.
Okay, and this is where the story takes a really serious turn. Because those traditional methods, they're not just tough on the denim. They're incredibly tough on people and on our planet. This quote right here, it really hits home, spelling out the true cost of getting that faded look.
And believe me, when you start to actually quantify it, when you look at the numbers, the scale of the problem, it becomes shockingly clear.
42 liters of water. And that's just the average amount used in the finishing stage alone, for one single pair of jeans. Now try to multiply that by the billions of pairs that are made every single year. It's just a staggering amount of water.
To try and get a handle on all this, the industry came up with a tool. It's called the Environmental Impact Measurement Score, or EIM. Basically, it's a report card for the finishing process. The key thing to remember is a low score is good. That means low environmental impact. A high score, well, that's exactly what we need to move away from.
And this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? A typical conventional wash can easily get a score of 51, putting it right in that medium to high impact zone. But a sustainable wash, it can get all the way down to 13. I mean, the potential for improvement here is absolutely massive. So the question becomes, how do we do it?
And this, right here, is the hopeful part of the story, because we are now in an era of some incredible innovation, where technology is completely changing how jeans are made, and absolutely for the better.
So, instead of that old brute force method, literally tumbling jeans with rocks, the industry is moving to precision science. Take enzymes, for example. You can think of them as these tiny biological helpers that are programmed to just gently nibble away at the indigo dye. The result is a really similar faded look, but with way less water and without shredding the fabric. It's just smarter, cleaner, and a whole lot gentler.
Next up is ozone technology. So instead of dunking jeans into these massive vats of chemical bleach, manufacturers can now use ozone gas. The jeans go into a sealed chamber, and the ozone, which is a really powerful oxidizing agent, bleaches the indigo. The amazing part is, it uses almost no water, and afterwards, it just breaks back down into regular oxygen, leaving behind virtually no nasty stuff. And then there's this, which is a total game changer: lasers. Lasers are replacing that dangerous and imprecise sandblasting. A computer-controlled laser beam literally draws the fades onto the fabric, burning the dye off the surface with incredible accuracy. You can program any design you can imagine, it uses absolutely zero water, and it keeps workers safe from hazardous dust. It's amazing. So what this all adds up to is a true win-win-win situation. I mean, technologies like lasers aren't just better for the environment and safer for workers, they give designers this incredible new level of creative freedom. You can get perfect consistency every single time. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's a complete revolution for the industry.
Okay, so the industry is clearly changing in some really big ways. But what does all of this actually mean for us, the people who buy and wear all these jeans?
Well, the good news is the biggest names in the business are getting on board. You've got Levi's with their Waterless program, and they're setting these really ambitious public goals to slash water consumption by pushing their suppliers to adopt all these new technologies. This is how you get real, widespread change to happen.
But you know, our role in this story doesn't end at the cash register. A huge part of any garment's environmental impact comes from how we take care of it at home. By following these simple steps, washing less, using cold water, and always hanging them to dry, we can make our jeans last so much longer and shrink their footprint. And look, if you take away nothing else, just promise me you will never ever put your good jeans in the dryer. So, with smarter science and more conscious brands, the future of denim is looking so much cleaner and brighter. The technology to make a real difference is finally here. The industry is starting to do its part. The only question left is, are we?